Hi, I'm Tracy Radley and welcome to Transmission Tuesday, Light Language Healing Activation, helping you on your Ascension journey. Thank you for those that have been with me for a while watching my videos again, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I do my best to bring videos to help you on your awakening journey and self-mastery every Tuesday. Now, just a reminder, I did get a couple of emails about notifications and not receiving all my videos. So if you haven't been receiving them like every week and seeing them appear in your feeds in YouTube, please make sure you hit the notifications button that's somewhere down here. It looks like a bell, so that you do get the videos when I post them up. So there's a little bit of admin for you. If you are needing support on the awakening journey, wherever you're at, I do private mentoring programs. So if you're interested, the details are below. So just have a look at that, send me a message and we can see if the alignment's there. All the programs I do, we start with an introductory session just to make sure we align anyway. So there's no long-term commitments. You know, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. If it's going to flourish, it's going to flourish. But, you know, we know in that first session how we're going to roll. So if you're interested in that, if you're guided to do some work with me, please reach out. Like I said, it's an intro session and we take it from there, no further commitment. This week we've got the eclipse happening. Depending where you are in the world, you know, the eclipse will actually take place either July 3rd or 4th. So if you've been feeling a little bit off the last couple of days, or energies and things shifting around, you know, there's even more influences going on with the cosmos to help us grow and expand. So just bear that in mind. As I always say, it doesn't matter what's going on, whatever label, whatever retrograde is going on. The fact is we need self-mastery every day. So we have to be present every day. We have to look at what we're projecting out into the world every day, regardless whether we know that Mercury's in retrograde or whether Saturn's in retrograde, or, you know, there was another solar flare go off. It actually ultimately doesn't matter if we know they're happening or not. The fact is we have to know how to master ourselves in each moment. So, you know, that's always been my message and it's not going to change. Take the labels out and just do your own work. Deal with everything moment by moment as it comes up. So for me personally, like, I'm moving again, and you know, I've had a little bit of instability with that, going, okay, well, it looked like it was going this direction, and then within a 45-minute time frame it all shifted again. So well, some people there go, oh wow, Tracy gets to move all the time. To be honest, I don't particularly enjoy it. Like, it's been 10 years almost since I've had a proper choice from my logic where I actually want to stay and how long I want to stay there for and what I actually want to do. So it's been quite a long time. I don't move with logic. I move because I have to follow the vibration and I have to follow the energy whether I like it or not. So sometimes it's for my own personal expansion. I get moved to places because I need that vibe in that area to trigger me, but my brain doesn't. I don't know exactly what I'm going there for. I just have to trust and follow it. But a lot of the time over the years, it's been a lot more for the galactic and bigger picture collective stuff I get moved around for. So I don't actually go to places that are enjoyable experiences for me. It's just vibrational experiences that I have to have, whether it's, like I said, my own personal shift stuff, which happens everywhere anyway because it's a constant thing that we do. But a lot of it is also collective and galactic filtering and being a portal and being a beacon, being a grid, laying the grids. It's just whatever, and it's actually really tiring on my physical system, and mentally it can be pretty draining because I don't know when I'm going to get told to pick up and move again. You know, I might just feel like I'm settling in. Okay, like I know where the supermarkets are now. I've got somewhere to sleep, and then suddenly within a couple of days, oh no, you're off again. It's different to traveling. So years ago, I did travel, I did backpack, I did all those things, but it was by choice. It was by a conscious choice. It was by, oh, let's go to that place because it sounds good. Or there's something there I want to see, or there's something there I want to do. It's nothing like this. This is not how I work. It's not how I've worked for many years. It's actually been, the vibration is calling me and I don't know necessarily what that vibration is. Sometimes I read into it and go, oh shit, no, I don't want to go there. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I know it's not going to be pleasant for me, but I've got to go anyway. So like sometimes you do see me looking pretty tired and, you know, haggard on these videos because I'm exhausted. I'm just energetically exhausted, and, you know, in a couple of days I'm moving again, and then in a couple of days after that I'm moving again, but I don't know where I'm moving to. And I really like a home. I'm actually somebody that has you know, I used to have my own home. I like to have photos around. I like to have my own things around, and for years now it's just hand luggage, and everywhere where I sleep has to become my home. And I'm learning to make it that way. I've had to learn to make it that way because I haven't had a choice. You know, there's not all the material comforts that I would like, but you know what, it is as it is, and I've learned to accept it, that my higher path is my higher path. And you know what, sometimes my body doesn't like it, like I said, and my brain doesn't like it, and my emotions go, man, why can't I just have a stable home? Why can't I just be somewhat normal? It'd be so much easier for me to do this work and bring this stuff through if I could actually have some form of stability. But that's just not the way it is at the moment. It's not going to be like this forever, but it, like I said, it is challenging on like looking at the outside world, and you know, people that do have some stabilities, or having the judgment of people going, you have a great life because you get to move. And like, if you ask me, yeah, on a higher level, yes, I do have a wonderful life because I'm growing and expanding. But on the level of comfort and physical comfort and supports and, you know, financial flows and all that, when I'm moving all the time and what I do when I'm in those places, that's not necessarily enjoyable. And like I said, it doesn't come from a logical choice of being somewhere and doing something. Like in this area I've been, people come here because it's touristy. They come here because it's a holiday destination, but I'm not here holidaying. I've been here moving my own stuff. I've been taken up into the galactics. I'm mostly in the apartment because it's a place where there's drinking and partying and smoking and all those things, you know, and people have every right to do what they want to do. But for my system, I am so sensitive that like, I don't want to be around it. But, you know, I can't get to the supermarket without walking through these vibrations. You know, I'm up earlier this morning and I haven't been sleeping much because I'm not used to traffic because it stimulates my system too much. But I'm here anyway, you know, because this is where I need for this period of time. And there's a hell of a lot of growth going on here for me personally. And I know that. But like I said, when people look from the outside, and you will know that in your own life when, you know, when you're going through the waking up process, where whatever stage you're at in, people will judge you differently, and they'll judge you on your material world, not your inner world. So, I mean, I've been living this way for years, so I'm used to people judging my external world, not knowing how ripped apart that I get almost every day. And, you know, that's challenging sometimes. Well, actually, a lot of the time, because, you know, I do a lot. I mean, you that connect with my videos and you see what I do, I mean, or you sense what I do. You know, this hasn't come easy for me to be able to do this, and it's not even by conscious choice. I just have to do it. Some days I flow with it, and other days I go, no, I don't want to be able to do this anymore. This isn't fair. You know, this is too hard on my system. Like, if people don't know what I do, and, you know, they don't see that I'm breaking down and struggling in my physical form because I'm carrying a bigger load on the energetic form, you know, and I have my moments where I go, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Nah, this isn't for me. But, you know, I know it is ultimately. So, you know, so if you're going through those stages too, where you go, you know what, people don't see who I am. They don't get it. They don't know how much I'm processing my own stuff at the moment. I know, I've been there. I'm there every day. Like I said, I've been living this for a long time, but the thing is, though, we have to keep taking that higher perspective of we're living the soul journey, we're living a higher path, and we're the ones creating the change here. You know, somebody's going to do it, and for some reason, we all put our hand up to come in at different times and start taking on these roles. Okay, so like I said, while I get physically, emotionally, and mentally tired from doing what I do and how I do it, I actually don't even get a conscious choice in this. This is just how my path is, and I've accepted that. And I also know that it's going to change at some point, hopefully not too far into the future. But until then, I just have to go, well, day by day, which is what we're supposed to be really doing anyway, is living moment by moment. You know, the people that I work with and things I hear a lot is like, we do a lot of comparison to the outside world. You know, everybody else looks like they're having fun. Everybody else looks like they've got their shit together type of stuff. But from experience, like, we actually know it's because they haven't dealt with their stuff yet. And whatever phase you're in, we're all dealing with our stuff. We've all been pulled offline in some capacity to start looking and start reflecting and start growing. So, you know, if we feel a lot of loneliness too, because because people don't get it, or because not enough people get it yet. So, you know, if it was more 50-50, if it was more like half the world is going through these transitions and people know about it. So we know there's people being isolated and alone and doing their emotional work, pulling out their traumas from past life, childhood. You know, we won't actually feel different. We won't feel isolated. We won't feel alone, because we know 2 doors down, somebody else is doing the same thing. And 3 doors down from that, somebody else is doing it, because more of us are doing it. It's just that we're not at that stage yet. You know what? And there's a lot of people that are doing it, but obviously they don't know if there's somebody 2 doors down that is doing it, because they haven't talked about it. All right. So, you know, we're getting there. More and more people are starting this journey. And like I said, we're all at different phases in it, but the more of us that step into this work, and we're not going to necessarily do it consciously, it's just going to be the doors open and we step into it, and then we can't close it, you know, and then it will become more normal to be like this, to be pulling yourself back, to be looking at the outside world differently. You know, for me, for years, I have looked at going, I don't even fit in this. Like, I'm just an observer of this world that makes no sense to me. And now, you know, for the last couple of years, I've been trying to bring myself back into it slowly. I've been pulled so far out of this material world to now I'm like, okay, now I've got my tools, I've got what I needed. Now I have to learn to come back into it again. And there's been a lot of resistance along the way. Like, because it just doesn't make sense to me, but I have to find my way within that, because obviously I chose this human form. I chose to be here now. I didn't even want to do YouTube videos. I didn't want to be seen. It's like I got to the point where I was just like in the background, doing the bigger stuff and doing my own stuff, and I was okay with that. I'd accepted that until they said, now you've actually got to get out there. And I'm like, but I don't actually want to get out there, because again, it brought up more resistance. I had to come back into these systems of, you know, more of the banking and the electronics and all that type of stuff, and having a phone number and all those things. And it's like, you know, I haven't wanted them. I'd learnt, they're taking me out so far that I'd learnt not to live with them anymore, to then be having to learn how to actually bring them back into my life again, but how to use them in a different way. So, you know, even with what I'm able to do on the esoteric and multidimensional levels, living in this earth life, you know, I have to bring myself back going, you know what, I can do so much friggin' more if I don't spend my time doing this. Like, just put me back in the mountains again. I was okay up in India, up in the mountains, or Nepal in the Himalayas. Just put me there. I'll just go in and do the galactic work. I can live simple, bucketing my water up and down the mountain, or hand washing my clothes, all that. I don't mind, because it's easier than putting me into a city like I am right now on my system. But no, here I am because I have another role to play now. I stepped into a new level like a couple of years ago, saying, you know, well, now you have to be where people can see you. You know what you can do, you know how you can connect in, but now you have to integrate it into this world because you chose this body, you have a role to play, and all of us do. We just have to wait for that to unfold for us. You know, I've been sensitive since I was a kid, but never did I know I was going to do what I was going to be doing or have been doing these last few years. And, you know, I've seen where I'm headed, and I'm like, hell, I never knew that was going to be coming. I don't know the whens, wheres, or hows, but my feeling and ultimate view is, you know, what's coming. And what all this work is leading me to on my physical form, not just on the bigger level. So it's like, you know, I can come back into comfort. I can have those things again. I don't have to keep moving the way I do. But for the time being, you know, I just have to ride my wave and go, okay, well, this is obviously still part of my programming. This is still things I signed up for. I haven't been ready to let it go yet. So I just have to go with that. Do my best to move through it with the higher awareness, knowing, you know, I have my moments when I'm tired and it's like, you know, I just don't want to do this anymore. But going, you know what, I have to do it anyway, because this is still part of my path at this time. When I'm ready to change it from the higher levels or from the subconscious or from whatever, you know, then it will change. Until then, I'll just keep going and making the best of it. So this may be applicable for you. I didn't know I was going to talk about this stuff today, so I'm hoping, you know, that the ones that I'm tuned into will get it. You know, this isn't the easiest path, but it's a worthwhile path, is I guess the message for that. So much for talking about the eclipses, but I guess with the eclipses, you know, we are going to get more stuff taken from our systems. Eclipses is about closing down old chapters, things that don't serve us anymore will get taken out. So over the next period of time, there's a few different eclipses going on. Partial eclipses and full eclipses. So, you know, we're taking things out. We're opening new doors, but we've got to take the old stuff out and close them down. So, you know, that is discomfort. Especially sometimes when you don't know where you're going and what you're doing and what actions you're supposed to take, because the old I need to know programming comes up. Give me some safety, give me some security, give me a set outcome. And these things get challenged along the path because we can't learn to trust and surrender if we keep wanting control. Okay, so don't know why I've said all that, but hopefully it resonates with some of you. And like, apologies, like I'm looking tired because I got up early to do this video before I'm getting the peak traffic in the morning. So apologies for that. Hopefully the message is coming through, and maybe the lighting's a bit off because there's a massive, like, what do you call it, multi-story building in front of me blocking the sun rising. So I won't get the sunshine here for a little bit longer to make better lighting here. But anyway, I'll do the light language transmission now for you. So if you want to close your eyes, open your heart, it's multi-dimensional communication, straight to heart and soul. For those that say, I don't understand it, but I seem to like it, it's because it's your pure language. You know it at your depths, you know it at your core. Your logic doesn't, it doesn't need to. It's just pure communication, love and light, activations. We go in there, we move out inner child traumas, we move out past life stuff, we move out like dormant DNA, we clear out entity stuff if they're ready to go from your system. It's just, if there's interference there and I can go in and do it and work with you to clear that out on these energetic levels, then I'm in there doing it. I also have people that have said, you know, I've turned up in their dreams healing them, or if they've seen, you know, feel like they can hear me at different points in the day, like my voice will come up, light language will come up, you know, different things like that. This is normal. If this happens for you, if you kind of feel that I'm around you in some form, it's probably because I am. So being able to, we're all multidimensional, but our reach is different and our awareness of it is different. So if you're noticing me around, you're not going crazy. I actually connect in on those levels. If you know, if your vibration calls for my vibration, I turn up there. Got to remember, you see my physical form, but we are actually just vibrational beings, different streams. So we're all over the place. All right. So when I say I'm with you, you know, you're not doing this alone. I literally am with you in my energetic form. Any of the products that you may have of mine from the past, or the new ones which will come out again shortly, I'm actually with you with those products. It's not a standalone item. You actually have my vibration with you. You have a connection to me in those products. Whether you have the products or not, if there's a part of you that calls me in, I'm there anyway, whether you consciously know it or not, whether I consciously know it or not, okay? So you're not alone. I literally am with you when I say that on this journey, because we've all got a big part to play. We just bring it in different forms. Okay, so there we go. I will stop talking and I'll do the light language for you. Kia san san ke shan shan shania kara de da da mia da da ke ananai haya kia bula haya nanai ua kane ua la ya hinanaya ya la 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 ya hunanaya ya ke la ya na na ya wana kalua la ya la ya na ke na na ya hulua la la ya na yo la la ya la ya ke la na ya na na ya na la la ya ke na kia wala hayana no ya sia wala la ya la la ya wala kalo wala le lo hayana na kio na ya huwa ya na ne wala ya wala la ya wala ya Shuala la ke sun sun samake to the ka sun saluka miutata sun 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 se eluka kalua sun 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 samake to the sun 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 sa seluka sun sa samake shunta sun sa helika susa Shalale anta take esansa samiketo daka sansen semiketo daka shantete. Shala la 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 namasan sasanketa sansa samiketo. Maso sasamake shanta son sambakara sense. Shishimikada de Gede Sensa Samiketa, the Gara Sensa Samikita, Tawala Gede Sensa Samiketa, the Sense Elaka Sensa, Masu Sansense, Eloka Sense, Edota Sensa, Hawala Sense, Senikito, Sensa Salikita, Masu Sasamiketa, Sensa Sanike, Sensa Samike, Edidi, Tiwala Sensa Saniketa, Tata Sense Edota, Hiwala Sensa Samiketa, Sensa Seniketa, Sensa Samiketa, Sensa, Mio Sensa Saniketa, the Gara Sensa, Eleke Sensa, Sasamiketa, Hilua Sensa Sensa Edokara Sensa, Susosamaka Shanta Sensa Eda, Tanua Sensa Edota, Sensa Samiketa, Huala Sensa Saliketa, Nawala Sensa Edota, Sensa Edo, Halawa Sensa Edota, Sensa Edota, Halawa Sensa Samiketa, Salua Sensa Samiketa, Salua Antade Sensa Salaka, Katuma Kade Sensa Iloka, Karola Sensa Samiketa, Tantakara Sensa Edota, Telawa Sensa Samakada Shansha Shaniketa, Sensa Samiketa, Telawa Sensa Saniketa, Halawa Sensa Saniketa, Talawa Sensa Saniketa, Halawa Sanakana Shanaha. Okay, there's this week's transmission for you. You know the drill. If you've been with me for a while, comments below, like, share, subscribe, all those type of things. Obviously, I go with the belief that the right people will align with my work. So those that are starting out, maybe doing YouTube and doing those type of things too, just know, you know, the right people find your videos. You have fears that come up about it. You know, and hesitations of the judgments, and will people like my stuff, and you know, is my hair pretty enough, is my computer, like, is my camera equipped enough, will people like my message? The fact is, if you just get on there and be yourself, the right people will find your videos in the right time. And generally with YouTube is what I found too. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but obviously there's somebody that's sitting here thinking about this. It's part of your own growth journey. You know, so many of us have been caught up with suppression from so many past lives, and even in this life of, you know, not being able to express ourselves, not being able to be heard, being punished, tortured, you know, ridiculed, not being good enough. Our voice isn't worth hearing. We have nothing important to say. So obviously those fears come up when you come to do something like YouTube, where you're putting yourself out there potentially to be judged by the entire world. Okay, and I know because I went through it, the trauma I went through before I did my first video was horrific. How long it took me to actually get my video and what I had to work through internally, like before I could actually even get here for you guys to see me, was just massive. And I obviously was doing other bigger stuff too, so I had a lot of nasty bigger galactic stuff in my way as well to move through. But you know what, I am still here because I had to do it anyway. It was part of my journey. So I don't know why I shared that with you, but just know, like, you've got to move through the fear of having a voice, whatever that is. If you're coming from love, if you're coming from light, you know, if you're coming out of a place of integrity, somebody does want to hear it, and the rest of them, it doesn't matter. Okay, so these journeys of social media and stuff like this is about our growth first, because we have to overcome our fears to actually get our messages out there. Okay, again, as I said, if you're looking for mentoring, you know, you can see I'm pretty open, honest. I share everything as much as I can anyway in these somewhat short videos, which has gone long, I can see this time. Details are below. Reach out about the introductory session. If you feel like contributing to the channel, it is really appreciated. Like I said, I do move a lot. I don't get to focus on business or working with people much, because a lot of the time it's like, how do I get to the next place? Where's the next destination? How do I do this stuff is where most of the energy is, or I'm out doing other galactic stuff. So if you're aligned to, if you're in a position to, there's an exchange button there. It's always appreciated. But until next week, which will be at another location, have a enlightening time. Remember, Eclipse is going on doors will close, doors are going to open, and it's actually an awesome, so whatever traumas or experiences you may be going through that don't feel so comfortable, just know uncomfortable is the new comfortable. If you feel uncomfortable in general, it's because you're growing, because you're moving out of the mold, you're getting out of the programming, because it's against the normal. However, just bear in mind there's the uncomfortable, and then there's the message, the inner internal messages that are going, no, don't do this, it's not safe. So hopefully you've learned how to decipher the difference. So if you haven't, I can also help you how to move through that and, you know, get the messages a bit clearer for yourself on trusting your intuition. All right, catch you next Tuesday. Much love.